Greetings, everyone. This is the Truth Will Rise, and we're back with a new video, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. One of the ways that things that were taboo in previous times are made more and more acceptable and mainstream is often through the use of the media slash entertainment, what have you. Just a few examples. If you look at television 30, 40, 50 years ago, you didn't see a lot of overt sexual acts or sexual activities. A lot of it was implied. I'm sure those of you old enough to remember on sitcoms when they would just jump under the covers at the same time, it was kind of implied what that meant. Or you go further back where perhaps they would just kiss and then it would move toward the window or something like that, and it was kind of understood. And well, as time went on, you saw a little more. People were like, but it kept going and going and going until, there have been times where I've looked at television and I'm not even talking about necessarily HBO or Skinamax or something like that, like just cable television, and some of this stuff is practically softcore pornography. Now, this video is not about that, but what I'm saying is that process goes on in a number of areas, including in what I'm going to talk about over the next few moments is the N-word, and even how females now refer to each other. Years ago, there was a time where uttering that word would be a sure beatdown. And I've had to do that, when dealing with that type of name calling or slur or whatever. It wasn't acceptable. A lot of times, and I'm speaking primarily in the black community, it wasn't used like it is now. If it was, it wasn't in a good way. It was usually used to describe somebody acting a fool or doing something they didn't need to be doing, And you didn't even hear it on TV that much. When you heard it, that was a big deal. It was man, they said nigga, or, even to hear a white actor say it, or an actor of another ethnicity say that was it was like, wow. And again, see, back to my last point, through entertainment and the media, it's become more and more saturated until people gradually have become more and more desensitized to it, to where not only are people used to it, and people, think that word is a good thing, where it's in term of endearment, something I've never agreed with and a word I rarely use, to the point now you even hear the terminology used to describe people of all races. Instead of saying, that's my homie, my partner, that's my friend, my man's in them, or whatever, that's my end. End, please. Just all of these things that I personally, I think we can do a whole lot better. People, I've heard people say, oh, you do that, you take the power back, blah, 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 yakety smackety, crap. But, I look at it like this: if you really want to quote unquote disempower the word, you don't use it. Plain and simple. You can rationalize it how you want, but at the end of the day, that's what it pretty much boils down to. And I'm sorry. You can call me old-fashioned or whatever. No, I don't think it's cool I don't care who says it. I don't care what television show it's on, and I don't care what the media may tell you. It's not. It's kind of just ridiculous that something like that is now thought is just perfectly acceptable. And maybe that's just the old school in me, but it's not. And that's personal standard that I have set for myself, and I think more people need to do that and stop letting all this garbage slide. And there are so many other empowering words that we can use to refer to each other than some of this nonsense. And it's really up to us to stop feeding what the media shovels us, because when you see something proliferated like that in the media and entertainment, there's an agenda behind it. And it's to push something to desensitize you to it, so you'll eventually accept it or normalize a whole bunch of nonsense. And this is no different. And basically, it's something that definitely can be stopped if we get our mentality back on track and understand that it ain't cool. And I know a lot of, I'm not that old, but a lot of people younger than myself fall into this trap. But it's up to probably some of us older men who are trying to uphold that institution to set a standard and say, you know what, using that type of words it's not acceptable. It's not going to be allowed. And the same thing on the female side. Obviously I'm not a woman, but somebody calling me the B word that's not cool. I don't understand why that's people are okay with that. I see that as that's a major no-no. That's very disrespectful. And it's the same thing like I was saying with the N-word. It was pushed the exact same way, and you see more and more females. A woman doesn't use it. Female, interact with each other using that type of language, and we got to do better. And until we do, we'll continue to devolve. And I don't want to know in 10 years what people will be calling each other. I really don't even want to try to put it out there. I might accidentally get the ball rolling. But I personally don't use the word, any of them. I think it's a bunch of hot garbage. I think we can do better. And in my estimation, it's just another example of how, in a lot of ways, we have definitely devolved as a species to where we think, oh wait, no, I'm not going this way, to where we think this type of talk is acceptable. But what do you think about it? If you use those words, then I'd be curious in hearing why. What's your rationale behind it? And let's engage in a civil, intellectual dialogue about the matter. Even if you disagree, that's fine. Like I always say, just keep it respectful and classy, and we can definitely have a talk about it. But this is your man, Air Jordan. Sorry, wrong channel. Truth Will Rise signing out. Wishing everyone peace and power.